All right, so we've got our registration, so it's figuring it out on its own. We've also added Spanish, but I'd like to have some kind of a way to toggle between the two. Let's say I'm reading the site, and it thinks, because of where I am, that I speak English, but I actually speak Spanish.
Yeah.
So how can I manually change this?
Well, so let's create a little UI piece that we can actually quickly and easily switch between languages.
Let's do it, man.
In that, I'm going to go to that top nav, which is right here. And let's add another unordered list.
Ooh, teach you a trick. Delete that real quick.
Sure.
All right, hit enter. UL. And how many LIs do you want? Two of them?
We want
one
two.
for each. Do greater than LI times 2. Enter, or tab. Tab, sorry. Go back up to tab.
Lied.
I lied. Bam.
Nice.
That works for you.
What about classes, though? Can we do that with class?
You have no class. Yes, you could do classes too, but we'll do that later.
Okay. I want this. No, I don't want pull right.
Okay.
So we'll say it's translate. What did I have for that? Translate, and then languages. Right? Let's double check that. We have language. Translate language. Whoops. Control PP.
Gonna make you a code man yet.
And really, what do I want to do here?
So in the LIs, we want to say the words English or French, but you're gonna want to translate those, right?
Correct. Translate. Translate.
Or trans early. Okay.
And then languages dot English.
And this is a place where you've got a namespacing.
Yes. Translate languages dot Spanish.
I'll make sure those are the right names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam, right there. All right, so it's languages.english.spanish.french. Yes.
Yeah. Some of the styling seems to be off and not showing this nicely. So
what kind of styles did you have in your thing before? Let's see, we've got translate language. What's it look like in the page when you ran it?
nice ugly thing over here.
Oh, it's awesome. Is it black on black?
Yeah.
I love when it does that.
Very readable.
Sweet. So we could style this in any way you like. We can stick the styles in there. You could use a class or drop-down menu. That's what Bootstrap does.
Okay.
Looking at another drop-down in a Bootstrap
Let's do
app.
that. Class. Just drop-down menu.
Yep, drop-down dash menu. That's a Bootstrappy thing.
Yep.
Well, it's not a specific group Bootstrap, but it's one I have.
Roll menu.
Yep, that's also for Bootstrap.
And now it's hidden.
Now it's hidden up there.
Oh. Let's see.
So if you want to add a full-on drop-down, don't you actually want to add more than just that UL?
Yeah.
So like if I'm just looking at the Bootstrap
Add
stuff.
another div.
Yeah, you gotta add a whole div. There's a whole structure for it. So
Is there a little shorthands for that too?
where's your logo? So there's your logo, right? You want to go underneath the logo. Enter.
On
Yep.
line 13. Okay.
Yeah, this is a hot towel thing. It's based organized. So create a div there, and it's got a class of dropdown. There's a couple classes here. Dropdown, space nav, space navbar dash nav, space pull left. You can blame me for all these classes. And then end your little thingy, okay? Cool. And then after that one, you're going to want to have a button. And in that button, we're going to create an ID. And it's called DLabel.
Like that?
Yep, just like that.
Cool.
Type of button. Yep, another attribute, type equals button. And then data toggle.
Data toggle.
With a dash, yep. Equals dropdown. There's some RA stuff we don't have to worry about though. And then now you want to do translate here, right? Because you're going to have to put something in the button itself.
Right.
Like the title language.
Translate. There we go. That's what we want. Language.
Okay.
Or let's be consistent. Language. Like that.
Okay. And then
Close the button
inside of there, inside of the button, you want one thing besides the language. You also want a caret. So create a span. I'll teach you how to do this one. Just do span, space, regular, the word span, and then do colon, caret, C-A-R-E-T.
What does that do?
No, C-A-R-E-T.
Oh.
Tab with one R. E-T. Tab. didn't actually work right. Forget it. Just do a span. And then give it a class of caret. This is a bootstrappy thing.
Like that?
Yep. Then you closed your button, right?
Yes.
Okay, then after the button, that's where you want your UL. So this div has to go below the UL.
This div.
Yeah. Did you create your UL yet?
I removed it and
Okay.
put it here.
That's fine. So now, below the button, because that button, what we did at the top now is we have a div wrapping the whole thing. We need a button that actually is the language.
Yep.
And the caret is that little symbol.
Gotcha.
That'll do a drop down. That's a bootstrappy thing. And then we click on that, and then it's going to open up the UL, which will be right below us. And that UL has a class of drop down menu, role menu, language. And then inside of there, we've got our LIs, which is language, English, and Spanish.
Yep. We can get rid of that since we're not translating that.
Okay. And then now we have those languages. So we've got basically we had a line 14 through what, 22?
Correct.
Right. Now we have to have a way to select the language.
Right. So what we can use there is ng-click and bind that to a change language function.
Okay.
That will then, inside that function, use the translate service.
Seems easy.
Okay. So
I think we have a, no we don't. Okay, so I couldn't see it.
we need, I think the way the styling works with Bootstrap, we need to add an anchor tag too so that it knows. Yeah.
Inside the LI? I believe we do. Because you have to be able to click, yeah, it's the styling for it. Correct. So the anchor itself would have the ng-click.
Yes, ng-click equals, and then we'll make a function called change language.
So this isn't a translate thing. This is just because the styling we have on our site, we have to make sure that we follow that same kind of styling in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're just trying to set up an ability to change languages at runtime on the fly.
Okay, so you've got the A. Did you close the A?
No, I did
Now
not.
you need to close that,
So
right?
let's close that.
All right.
So that should be good. And then, well, we need to also make sure we translate that. All right, so for this first one now, we have the function, and we're going to pass in
We got to
what
remove the
language.
translate from the LI, right? On line
Good
19.
catch, good catch.
All right, why don't we just copy and paste that LI to the Spanish one?
Like that. Get rid of that.
And we'll change that one to yes and translate Spanish, right?
Spanish, and then yes. So yeah, and then we're passing in the language table key that we want to change to, and that's what we'll need in the service now.
Okay, so we're calling a function we don't have yet.
Correct.
All right, I got you.
So let's see if we at least get some nice styling going on here. And there we go, we have our buttons.
Sweet.
Click
So
on
now we got our bootstrappy stuff working.
Yep. That was fun. So now we need to go into the controller, or the directive, for this top nav.
Because the top nav HTML has a directive called top nav.
Correct. And in here, we need to inject the translate service.
Okay.
And we need to say $translate. Or we'll need to create the function, right? vm.changeLanguage.
Okay. And following our syntax equals change language.
Equals change language, yeah. And then we'll have a function.
Function called changelate.
Change language, which takes in a parameter of language.
Lanky. It's got to be a key, right?
Oh yes, good. Language key.
Lanky.
Okay.
Okay.
And then in here, we'll use the translate service and say use, not user, use lang key. And that should be it.
That's it. So because this is a controller for the directive, this thing's automatically bound to him already.
Yes.
And now we can use this function. So we called that VM language, change language. It's the same name as the one in the HTML.
Yep, let's double check that. VM change language, pass in the lang key.
Okay.
Let's go in here and see how it goes. Boom.
Sweet. So John say registra n, and if we go back, now it says language is idioma.
Yep.
We flip that back, and it's going to
Go
be
back to English.
sweet.
It's pretty nice, right?
Not
On the
so
fly.
bad. No, the hardest part was the CSS.
Yes.
That's not so bad.